smile. Swadika. Good morning. พบกันอีกครั้งนะคะFriday Talk กับทาง KPB International วันนี้เราก็มีแขกผู้มีเกียรติเข้ามารับเชิญเป็นแขกรับเชิญที่จะเข้ามาให้ความรู้กับเราวันนี้Hi, good morning. This is today is a Friday Talk again นะคะ We have Patrick Nevins here with us. Hi Patrick, could you introduce yourself to everyone today?
Good morning or good evening or good afternoon, depending on what time zone you're in. My name is Patrick Nevins. I'm the Director of Benefits at a large U.S. law firm with about 1,200 total employees, including attorneys. So, in the U.S., there are many very large law firms, and the one I work for, I'm the Director of Benefits for, is one of the largest in the U.S. I have about a little over 40 years of experience working in benefits. I finished my master's degree back in 1983, and I've been working in the benefits field ever since. So during this presentation, I hope to provide you with a bit of information, about basic information about U.S. benefit programs.
ก็ประสบการณ์มากกว่า40ปีนะคะทางด้านสิทธิประโยชน์สำหรับพนักงานในบริษัทต่างๆนะคะวันนี้ซึ่งจากวุฒิการศึกษาและประสบการณ์ทำงานนี่มีประโยชน์มากกับที่จะให้ความรู้สำหรับพวกเราทุกคนในวันนี้ Yes, you can go ahead and tell us all about it. But first of all, we would like to pay our respect and give applause to the ขอส่งกำลังใจนะคะไปให้ผู้ประสบภัยกับเหตุการณ์ไฟไหม้ที่ LA นะคะแล้วก็ขอบคุณและชื่นชมกับเจ้าหน้าที่ทุกหน่วยงานที่เข้าไปช่วยเหลือในเหตุการณ์ไฟไหม้ที่แคลิฟอร์เนีย I will just talk about the situation in LA, California, and we would love to send our. Can you tell something about the?
it's a good thoughts and prayers to the people that are affected by the wildfires in Los Angeles. Yes.
Yes. We just hope everybody will pass on this situation and everything will get better very soon.
Yeah, it'll take a long time to rebuild that part of Los Angeles. It's a very crowded area, one of the most crowded cities in the United States. But really terrible situation. But I just so you're all aware, I know about 5 words in Thai, including nit noi. So
Okay.
I'll speak English and then Nina will translate.
Yes. Okay. And now we can go back to where whatever you would like to share with us today about the benefits.
Sure.
Sure.
And as and maybe as this cover slide says, I'll speak about employee benefits in the United States, which is a key part of what we in the United States would call total rewards. Your reason for working for some employer in the United States. So, Sa, if you could go to the next slide. And so principally talk about the employee benefit programs that employers in the United States typically provide. It doesn't mean that the first company you work for in the U.S. will provide for all of these different benefits, but these are what I'll talk about are common to most large employers in the United States. If you work for a very small company, maybe or a very entry level job, you may not have all of these programs available to you. But I'll speak about the long term. If you stay working in the United States and residing in the United States, these are the types of programs that you'll see. In this presentation, I will say nothing much about government sponsored programs. In the United States, what we call the federal government, based in Washington D.C., sponsors benefit programs called like Social Security and Medicare, right? Social Security provides an income when you are retirement age, right? When you're 65 or 67 years old, you can receive a monthly income for the rest of your life from what's called Social Security. And that's a government program, not an employer program. And then Medicare, which also is a government program that provides medical prescription drug benefits when you retire, right? So to be eligible for those government programs, when you are retirement age, you have to work in the United States for at least 10 years, right? No matter how much money you earn, but you have to be paying Social Security and Medicare taxes for at least 10 years to be eligible for those government programs. And, I could speak for hours about those government programs, but today we'll focus on what we call, the programs that are sponsored by employers, right? Voluntarily sponsored by employers. As the second bullet in this on this slide says, benefit plans are an important part of the total rewards package, right? Sponsored by employers. And when I say total rewards, there are, a few parts of that. An employer, you work at a job and you get paid, I say cash, it doesn't mean they give you, bahts or dollars at the end of the day, but you get a check or a deposit into your bank of some dollar amount, right? That's one of the reasons you work, is to receive pay, right? Cash compensation, right? So many dollars per hour, or a weekly salary, whatever it might be. But also very important in the United States are the benefits, and I'll speak about that, right? And benefits also include what we might call work life or well-being programs. I'll speak a little bit about that. But another reason you take a job is for the training and development opportunities, right? You're not just working for the cash. You're also, when you're comparing 2 or 3 jobs, you're comparing the benefit programs available to you, as well as opportunities to learn, right? The training and professional development, right? So you're not just doing the same job for 40 years. You want to work at a job where you can be trained to do something more in the future. So those are all reasons for working, right? The total package. But Sa, the next slide, please. Or Nina,
hold on. Yeah, before you move on, and if I come back to this, I might forget everything that you just said and explain. I will translate in Thai. ก็คือจากที่แพทริกได้พูดนะคะอันแรกเกี่ยวกับผลประโยชน์หรือว่าสิทธิประโยชน์ที่จะได้รับจากบริษัทก็คือไม่ใช่ทุกบริษัทที่จะให้เบเนฟิตที่เหมือนกันอย่างนี้แต่ว่าส่วนมากบริษัทที่เป็นบริษัทใหญ่ๆเขาจะมีสิทธิประโยชน์ให้เยอะกว่าบริษัทที่เพิ่งสตาร์ทอัพหรือว่าบริษัทเล็กๆนะคะแล้วก็ในส่วนของsocial security หรือ Medicaid ตรงนี้จะเป็นโปรแกรมของรัฐบาลมันไม่ใช่โปรแกรมของทางนายจ้างนะคะซึ่งทุกคนที่ทำงานก็คือจะต้องจ่ายไปเข้ากับโปรแกรมของทางรัฐบาลตรงนี้แล้วเมื่อคุณเกษียณคุณจะได้รับเงินเบเนฟิตจากตรงนี้แต่ว่ามันไม่ใช่ส่วนที่เป็นของนายจ้างที่จะให้มันเป็นการบังคับของทางรัฐบาลที่จะให้สิทธิประโยชน์เพื่อที่จะรักษาสิทธิประโยชน์ของพนักงานตรงส่วนนี้นะคะแล้วตัวทางนายจ้างเนี่ยถ้าบริษัทใหญ่ๆเขาก็จะมีสวัสดิการที่สูงกว่าหรือมากกว่าโดยส่วนใหญ่เพราะว่าเขามีศักยภาพในการที่จะส่งเสริมและสนับสนุนให้ตรงส่วนนี้แล้วก็ในส่วนของทางรัฐบาลของ Federal เนี่ยก็คือคุณต้องทำงานให้เขาอย่างน้อย10ปีที่จะได้รับ benefit ตรงส่วนนี้เมื่อสำหรับ security อย่างน้อย10ปีที่แพทได้พูดขึ้นมาแล้วก็แต่ละอย่างก็จะมีการดูแลเทคแคร์อย่างอื่นอย่างเช่นไม่ใช่แค่แบบมีทางด้านได้เงินสดเข้ามาหรือว่าbenefit ที่แตกต่างซึ่งแพทจะได้พูดถึงในสไลด์ถัดไปเชิญคุณซ่าพูดถึงคลิกไปสไลด์ถัดไป Yes Patrick
Thank you Nong Nina one of the I would suggest most important benefit programs that are sponsored by U.S. employers relate to your health, right? And when I say health benefits, that encompasses or includes, 3 or 4 general types of programs, right? Benefit options or choices relating to medical care, to prescription drug care, right? Medicines. To dental care, right? To see a dentist to take care of your teeth, as well as vision or eye care insurance. So, most large.
Hold on. I might have to translate one by one, otherwise I might forget all of this.
Okay.
Is that okay, Pat? Okay. อันแรกก็คือทางด้านประกันสุขภาพนะคะซึ่งจะเกี่ยวกับทั้งยาการดูแลฟันการดูแลสายตาแล้วก็ดูแลความเป็นอยู่โดยปกติที่นี่ก็คือเวลาอย่างไปตรวจร่างกายประจำปีต่างๆนะคะอันนี้เป็น benefit ตัวแรก yes the next one
and then I would say when I talk about some of these programs whether it's health benefits or others it's yes. my experience is with typically larger employers right So, one of the first companies I worked for made cigarettes, and they had 160,000 employees, right? Others are hotel chains and so forth. So, the generosity of benefits at different employers depends on the industry and so forth. But what I'm talking about is, in general, typical programs. So, as the second
yes.
bullet, says. Larger employers might offer multiple choices of medical, multiple choices of dental, multiple choices of vision plans. So in the US, it's typical that employers don't say, well, this is what it is. You have no choices. That's not common. right? What's common is to offer you choices, like a menu, right? Like a menu in a restaurant,
So
right?
is it only for the large employee,
No,
large
it depends.
employer only, or
Yeah,
most
I wouldn't
general?
say, like, you know, my employer is relatively small, I would say, about
Right.
1,200 employees, but it tends to be
Yes.
very, a law firm is, you know, highly paid people, right?
Yes.
And so we do offer a lot of choices. So
Okay.
what's every employer is going to be different, right? So what I'm speaking about generally is what's typical. You know, maybe some employer might have
Okay.
2 choices, other might have 4 choices of medical plans. So
Right.
there's
But
not
in general, they would like give you some options
exactly
to choose
options.
from.
So
Okay.
and these options in terms of health benefits, and then I'll speak about disability, you know, life insurance,
Yes.
accident insurance, right? Are often
Right.
what's called flexible benefits, right? Where you have choices, right? Or what's called a cafeteria plan, right? If you've heard
Yes.
that term, cafeteria plan. Cafeteria is like, you know, restaurant. I want some of this and some of this and some of that, and yeah, I don't want that, but you know,
Right.
right? So
Uh-huh.
it depends, right? But in any event, as it's saying, also in the second bullet, you work for some company, and you have medical choices. Maybe you want to, if you're married, you want to cover your
Yes.
wife or husband, right? You have children, maybe you want to cover your children, but that will cost you
Yes.
more, right? An employer would say, well, you know, $10 a week to cover you, but if you want to cover your husband or wife or your kids, maybe then it's $50 a week, right? Or $75 a week, right? So you'll have those choices typically, right?
Okay. Okay.
As
Give me 2 seconds to
sure,
translate here then. โดยปกติแล้วก็คือทางนายจ้างเนี่ยโดยส่วนใหญ่เขาก็จะมีทางเลือกหรือว่าออปชันให้เราว่ามีตัวเลือก1 2 3บริษัทนั้นบริษัทนี้ออปชันนั้นออปชันนี้ที่ให้เราเลือกในที่จะได้รับ cover ว่าจะใช้ประกันตัวไหนแบบไหนราคาเท่าไหร่แล้วนอกจากนี้เขาก็ยังมีออปชันว่าถ้าเกิดเราแต่งงานหรือว่ามีลูกก็จะมีออปชันให้เลือกว่าจะเพิ่มลูกเพิ่มภรรยาเข้าในตัวประกันสุขภาพนี้ด้วยหรือเปล่าถ้าเราเพิ่มครอบครัวเข้าไปคอสที่จะบวกเพิ่มในประกันก็จะเพิ่มขึ้นมาแต่มันก็จะมีราคาว่า cover อะไรบ้างราคาเท่าไหร่ซึ่งจะถูกหักไปจาก paycheck ของเรา Yes I just explained that they have options to choose from and if they want to add their spouse or
family
child
members,
into
right?
the insurance then they have to add more money and will be how much will be add
Right.
or deducted from their paycheck.
Exactly, Nina. As this slide also says, it's about the 4th bullet, preventive care, right? Preventive medical, dental, eye care, right?
Yes.
Most U.S. employers in their medical, dental, vision, eye care plans will say that, you know, if the reason for going to the doctor is you feel like you're perfectly well, but it's just once a year you go to the doctor for a checkup, right? To see if you're okay. They test your blood. They ask you how you're feeling. You know, they take your blood pressure, your blood sugar, all these things that typically in the United States, whether that's medical or to check your teeth, right? To do a cleaning, see how your teeth, make sure there's no, you know, cavities or something. Typically,
this one I really like it. The preventive medical.
Right. And that typically the plan or plans that you have choices of will cover those kinds of that care 100%, right? You have no, you know, you pay out of your paycheck something, right? But when you go to the doctor, you pay nothing, free.
Yes.
Well, but not say free.
Like a no copay or anything like that.
Right. The insurance pays 100%, right? But when you if you don't take care of yourself, right? You don't take care of your teeth, you don't take care of your health, you eat too much junk food, when you have medical problems, then then that care, you have to pay something. You share in the cost of the care, right? So the incentive under U.S. health plans, medical, dental, vision, is to take care of yourself, to be healthy, and then your cost will be less, right? So take it if you're in the United States working. Don't drink 6 beers a day. Don't eat a bag of potato chips every 2 hours, right? Take care of your health.
You're talking about yourself? Just kidding.
No, my problem is Krispy Kreme donuts. Yes, you don't mean Nina.
Okay. Let me explain then. ในอเมริกาเนี่ยค่ะก็คือเขาจะเน้นทางด้านการป้องกันมากกว่าแก้ไขหรือว่ารักษาก็คือถ้าหากในตัวประกันเนี่ยเขาจะให้คุณไปเช็ครายปีเช็คสุขภาพรายปีถึงแม้คุณจะสุขภาพดีรู้สึกว่าไม่เจ็บไข้ได้ป่วยอะไรแต่ว่าเขาก็จะมีให้ไปตรวจสุขภาพตรวจเลือดตรวจฟันทำความสะอาดฟันปีละ2 ครั้งพวกนี้จะไม่ต้องจ่ายเงินเพิ่มแต่อย่างใดแต่ว่าถ้าคุณไม่ดูแลรักษาตัวเองแล้วเจ็บไข้ได้ป่วยแล้วต้องไปหาหมอตัวเนี้ยคุณก็อาจจะต้องจำเป็นต้องจ่ายเพิ่มจากประกันที่เขา cover เขาจะมี cover เป็นจำนวนที่พอสมควรแต่ว่าถ้าเกินนั้นน่ะตัวพนักงานเองก็จะต้องจ่ายเพิ่มถ้าคุณไม่สบายหรือว่าเจ็บไข้ได้ป่วยเพราะฉะนั้นแต่ว่าทางด้านการไปตรวจสุขภาพประจำปีหรือว่าคุณสุขภาพดีอยู่แล้วแต่ไปตรวจป้องกันไม่ให้เกิดขึ้นพวกนี้จะไม่ต้องจ่ายเพิ่มอะไรเลยเขาจะ cover 100% 100% สำหรับการป้องกันตรงนี้ Yes I will just explain that it's a good idea that they will cover all everything about prevention but if you get sick you have to pay some of those if it's over the coverage that they have for the
share in the cost. Maybe you pay 10% or 20%, something like that, right? So maybe the next slide, please. And so on this slide, it talks about income protection benefits. And, I guess given the time, so we don't run over because I could speak it for another 2 hours, just to give you some basics. Income protection, that means if you're not able to work, and then the first group of bullets talks about life and accident insurance, right? Well, if you're dead, then you're not able to work, right? I didn't mean to laugh
That's
about
not true. If you come to work, I would be the first one to run.
Yes, exactly. But the life insurance or accident insurance benefits is really more for your beneficiaries, for your family, right? So if you come and work in the United States and you die while you're working, not at the job, hopefully, and hopefully it's at old age, but your beneficiaries, your husband, your wife, your children, your parents, right, a friend, that person would receive money and what we call life insurance. And as it says here, there's some coverage is automatic. Then there are options. Typically, employers provide you with choices or options, and you choose a beneficiary. Money goes to your husband, your wife, your kids, your parents, whatever, right? So that's common, right? Nina, did you want to translate that quickly? Or?
ก็คือตัวนี้ก็เป็นประกันทางด้านรายได้นะคะถ้าเกิดเราไม่สบายหรือว่าไม่สามารถที่จะทำงานได้เราก็สามารถที่เขาก็จะมีประกันตรงส่วนนี้ที่จะเข้ามาช่วยเหลือแต่ว่าซึ่งมันจะแตกต่างกับประกันชีวิตเพราะว่าถ้าประกันชีวิตนี่ก็คือผลประโยชน์จะตกไปอยู่กับครอบครัวของเราลูกหรือภรรยาแต่ว่าในกรณีที่ถ้าเราไม่สามารถที่จะทำงานได้เขาก็จะมีเงินเข้ามาช่วยเหลือในช่วงที่ไม่สามารถทำงานได้เพื่อที่จะให้เรามีรายได้ในขณะที่รักษาตัวอยู่นะคะ Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Nina. And then the second half of this slide talks about disability insurance. Disability, if you're disabled, means you're not able to work. right? Because of an illness. You were in a car accident. You had a stroke,
right.
heart attack. For some reason, you're not able to work. And maybe that's a short time. Let's say if you're a woman and have a baby, you're not able to work for a few months. Well, then you get paid for a few months. Usually, the longer you have been with that job, the better the disability benefit will be, right? The more generous it will be. That's what we would call in the category of short-term disability benefits. And you can see, there's a few bullets here about that. It depends on the state you're in, the generosity of the employer. But typically, you will have short-term disability benefits available to you. At the bottom of the slide, it talks about long-term disability benefits, right? And that's if you're not able, after the short-term, right, 3 months, 6 months ends, if you're still not able to work, maybe because you had a stroke or, you're not able to walk or use your arms or you become blind because of some accident.
Right.
Long-term disability benefits would pay you a monthly income until you are 65 or 67 years old, typically, right? And it wouldn't be 100% pay, but typically it's 50 or 60% pay of your pay would continue every month for, maybe 20 or 30 years, depending on what age you become disabled, right? Most of us don't become disabled, but just so you're aware, it's typical for U.S. employers to provide these disability income benefits, short-term as well as long-term, right? So without getting, what we say, into the weeds too much, Nina, if you'd like to just quickly summarize that.
Wow, this is great. It's like this will be out of the pocket from the employer, you mean?
Right. Typically, the employer pays. Sometimes there are choices for disability benefits, but in the few minutes we have left, it probably isn't time to explain.
Yes,
but just to be aware that these programs are available.
But สำหรับคนที่พิการนะคะประกันกรณีที่ไม่สามารถทำงานได้ในช่วงระยะเวลาสั้นๆเขาก็อาจจะมีcover 3 เดือน 6 เดือนแต่ว่าถ้าเป็น long term แล้วไม่สามารถทำงานได้เลยแขนขาพิการหรืออะไรเงี้ยก็อาจจะแบบว่าเขาก็จะมี benefit ให้จนถึงอายุที่เกษียณ65หรือ67นะคะตรงนี้ถือว่าเป็นสิ่งที่ดีมากแต่ว่าพวกนี้ก็คือเขาก็มี option ให้ที่แบบว่าถ้าเป็นบริษัทใหญ่ๆก็อาจจะมีตรงนี้ที่สามารถเสนอขึ้นมาได้ค่ะ
Next slide, please.
Yes, you can move to the next one.
And then this slide, there's a lot of information on this slide. At the top, it talks about what they call traditional pension plans. Those are very rare, right? Where you would just receive a monthly income after you retire. Very rare. So I won't get into detail about that. And then there are also what I would call retirement savings plans are offered by most all U.S. employers, right? And that's where you can voluntarily choose to put a percentage of your pay every week or every month, however frequently you get paid. You choose how much do you want to save from your paycheck for the future, typically for retirement. But then, as this slide is saying, there are also opportunities to borrow from your account, this investment account, retirement savings account, or to take withdrawals while you're still working. There's, I could speak for 2 hours just about those plans, but in summary, I would just say that these long-term savings programs are available at most all employers in the United States, and there's a lot of variety, but they're intended to enable you, to allow you to invest for the future.
โอเคอันนี้แพทริกก็ได้พูดถึงเกี่ยวกับบำเหน็จบำนาญนะคะไอตัว traditional pension ตัวเนี้ยมีน้อยมากส่วนมากเขาก็จะให้ทางครูตำรวจหรือว่าอย่างเงี้ยเพราะฉะนั้นเราก็จะไม่เจาะลึกตรงส่วนนี้แต่ว่าอีกตัวหนึ่งที่เป็นretirement saving plan ตัวเนี้ยเป็นการเหมือนเก็บเงินไปในตัวด้วย 401k ซึ่งบริษัทส่วนใหญ่เนี่ยเขาก็จะมีตัวนี้เสนอให้เขาส่วนหนึ่งอาจจะออกไปจากเปอร์เซ็นต์จากตัวพนักงานเองแล้วก็ส่วนหนึ่งก็คือทางนายจ้าง ช่วยออกให้เพื่อที่จะเป็นเงินเก็บสะสมในตอนที่เราเกษียณแล้วเราจะได้มีเงินเก็บแล้วก็ไปใช้จ่ายเขาก็อาจจะเอาเงินเก็บส่วนนี้ไปลงทุนในไป invest เพื่อที่จะให้ผลกำไรขึ้นมาด้วยเช่นกันอย่างใน this some of the pension also they will invest in some kind of stock market or something like that. Is that correct, Pat?
Yes. Well, through the 401k or retirement savings plans, you typically have many choices as to how you want to invest. Conservatively.
Or you can choose how to invest as well.
Absolutely. Right. In the plans I manage currently, there are 20 different investment choices. But then you also have a choice where you can invest in like a brokerage account where there are thousands of different investments that you could choose.
Right.
So the employers allow for that flexibility, right? But that's, there's a lot that could be said about that, but, I don't know in the time that we have, but just to be aware.
Maybe next time you can come back and give us more detail about how to, invest with your retirement, because I think this is really will be benefit for everyone who will be the employee in the US.
Right. Yeah, so, I would say maybe just generally, the most important benefits in the short term are health benefits, right? Medical, dental, right? But in the long term, you want to worry about, life insurance and accident insurance and disability insurance, right? Those are all important. But then, if you're lucky enough to live until you're 65 or 70 years old, then you're worried about, your retirement income. If you live,
if you live long enough to spend the money that you made.
Right. Exactly. Right. Like my parents are, 89 and 90 years old almost, right? They've been collecting using money that they saved when they were working, right? Thankfully, they lived a long time, right? And still alive. Maybe the next slide, Asa, just quickly.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
ก็เมื่อสักครู่เราก็ได้คุยกันนิดนึงว่าถ้าอย่างตัว 401k ตัวพนักงานเนี่ยก็สามารถที่จะเลือกได้ว่าจะเอาเงินตรงส่วนนั้นไปลงทุนในไหนจะเป็นbrokerage account หรือว่าจะมีออปชันอะไรบ้างที่ทางเขามีออปชันให้ก็สามารถที่จะเอาเงินตรงนี้ไปลงทุนในส่วนของ benefit ตรงนี้ได้ค่ะ Yes, the next one.
And next slide, please, sir. And this last slide just reviews some other, perhaps less important, but it depends on, every person is different and their needs are different, right? So that's why we call them, as we're saying here, flexible spending accounts, right? Or a cafeteria plan, lots of choices, right? The choices of medical, dental, vision, life insurance, disability insurance, retirement income, right? I spend my whole career worrying about all these choices, designing these programs for employers. But maybe just to quickly say, there are then accounts that you can contribute to, if you wish, right? Some of those accounts are really designed to save you tax dollars, right? Because your salary or your wages are subject to tax, right? And the tax depends on how much you're making. People that get paid $1 million a year, they pay more taxes than somebody making, $50,000 a year, right?
Yes.
But there are various, just to say quickly, there are various accounts that may be offered to you, right, for healthcare, right, to help you pay your share of medical, dental, vision, prescription drug, eye care expenses. If you have little kids and you need a babysitter or daycare provider, there are accounts, to help you pay for those.
So this account will be like a value account where dollar to dollar you can deduct it from your paycheck and spend it fully amount with whatever you need. Is if you're not in a good health, you might put in a healthcare. Or if you have kids, young child, you have to pay for the daycare or nanny, babysitter. Or if you are a commuter, you use this money for the commuting to work.
Yes, to pay for your train ticket or bus ticket or.
Yeah, and this amount you don't have, you won't be taxed.
Exactly.
Which is you can use.
Right. So most, the important thing is just most employers, larger employers, will offer you these accounts, and some may say, "Well, no, I don't want it." And others, you may use all of them. It depends on your choices.
Yes.
And then, at the end of this slide, it talks about well-being benefits, and this kind of goes.
Okay. Before you move, let me explain in Thai. I forgot.
Sure.
Okay. สำหรับตรงนี้นะคะอาจจะไม่สำคัญเท่ากับพวกแรกๆเกี่ยวกับhealth care หรือว่า retirement plan แต่ว่าตัวนี้ก็จะเป็นสิทธิประโยชน์เสริมซึ่งแต่ละคนก็จะมีความต้องการแตกต่างกันไปอาจจะคนไหนที่สุขภาพไม่ค่อยดีก็จะหักเงินส่วนนี้ไว้แยกต่างหากเพื่อที่จะใช้ในการดูแลเทคแคร์สุขภาพของตัวเองหรือว่าใครมีเด็กมีลูกก็อาจจะหักค่าใช้จ่ายส่วนนี้ไว้สำหรับเดย์แคร์หรือว่าคนที่แบบว่าเดินทางขับรถไปทำงานก็อาจจะบอกว่าหักค่าใช้จ่ายส่วนนี้ออกมาไว้สำหรับเป็นค่าเดินทางซึ่งเงินส่วนนี้จะถูกหักออกจากเพย์เช็คโดยที่ไม่ต้องไปจ่ายภาษีก็คือได้ทำงานได้เงินมา100ก็คือหักไว้สัก30 บาทเนี่ย30 บาทนี้ก็คือจะไม่ถูกไปคิดเป็นภาษีหรือ tax จะไม่ถูก tax yes you can move to the well-being benefits.
And then well-being benefits, they go beyond. They're not insurance, right? It's not a retirement savings. Usually, the employer, your job pays the full cost of these things. But sometimes there are gym memberships available where you don't have to pay the gym, the full cost. Maybe you get a discount, or the employer pays for some. Some big employers might have a gym at the office or at the factory, whatever it might be.
Right.
Maybe, right? Not all, right? Others, most employers offer what we call EAPs, or employee assistance programs. Those typically are there to help you, very confidential, no cost to you, for mental health issues, right? If you have emotional, mental health problems, these EAPs are typically available. Most all employers offer those, right? Make available those.
Yes.
Childcare programs, right? Some employers offer, they might have a daycare for your children at the factory, right? Or at the office.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
But most, most don't, but some big companies, generous companies do. Others may make programs available that pay for some of that daycare, right? It depends, right? There's no requirement in the United States, but bigger, more generous employers do that, right? So long term,
if
maybe
you got a good employer.
Right. So maybe your first job does not offer that, but maybe your second job, 5 years, 10 years from now, these become common in the United States, right? The company I work with has that kind of program. And then finally, I might say, it's important. And once again, it's for someone of my age, I don't need any more. I shouldn't say that. We all always need education, regardless of our age, but especially early in your career, it's those professional development and training opportunities.
Right.
And some employers offer that, and others maybe don't. Others, the first job I had after I finished my master's degree offered tuition assistance. So I then was working on a second master's degree, an MBA, right? And the employer was paying for those classes. So not everywhere, but those kinds of programs are fairly common at larger, more generous employers, right? So, once again, there's a lot of information in these slides. We probably have run over time. That's up to you. I'm not sure if there's time to answer any questions.
Well,
but
let me just translate then.
Sure.
For the well-being benefit นะคะอันนี้เป็นสิทธิประโยชน์ที่เกี่ยวกับความเป็นอยู่ของพนักงานบางบริษัทมี gym membership มีเขาอาจจะให้ส่วนลดสำหรับการเป็นไปจิมนะคะหรือบางที่ก็อาจจะมีจิมอยู่ที่ทำงานเลยบางบริษัทอาจจะมี employee assistance program ก็คือเป็นโปรแกรมที่มีเจ้าหน้าที่ให้คำปรึกษาอย่างเป็นส่วนตัวเป็นสิทธิพิเศษให้คำปรึกษาทางด้านเกี่ยวกับสุขภาพจิตโดยตรงโดยที่ไม่ได้มีชาร์จอะไรเพิ่มเติม หรือว่าบางที่ใช้แคร์โปรแกรมเขาอาจจะแบบว่าช่วยค่าดูแลเทคแคร์ลูกหลานของเราด้วยบางส่วนหรือบางที่ก็อาจจะมีชายแคร์อยู่ที่โรงงานหรือว่าที่บริษัทเลยแล้วก็อีกตัวหนึ่งก็คือ tuition education assistant บางที่เขาอาจจะเสนอที่จะบอกว่าoffer จ่ายค่า tuition ถ้าเราไปเรียนต่อหรือศึกษาต่อโดยเฉพาะคนไหนที่เพิ่งจบมาใหม่ๆหรือว่าทำงานที่แบบว่ายังอายุยังน้อยอยู่ถ้าต้องการที่จะศึกษาเพิ่มเติมบางบริษัทเขาก็อาจจะเสนอให้ค่าเทอมจ่ายค่าเทอมให้เพื่อที่จะให้เราได้มีความรู้หรือว่าไปศึกษาเพิ่มเติมได้โดยความช่วยเหลือของบริษัทแต่ว่าทั้งหมดทั้งปวงเนี้ยไม่ใช่ว่าทุกบริษัทที่จะ offer โดยส่วนใหญ่บริษัทใหญ่ๆที่เขามีศักยภาพเยอะกว่าเขาก็จะอาจจะมีให้แต่ว่าก็ไม่จำเป็นว่าจะต้องเป็นบริษัทใหญ่เสมอไปบางบริษัทที่เป็นบริษัทเล็กๆแต่เขาต้องการที่จะส่งเสริมสนับสนุนหรือว่าเขาใจดีเขาก็อยากที่จะบอกว่าเก็บเราไว้ในที่ทำงานเพื่อที่จะบอกว่าใน long term ก็เราจะได้ช่วยเหลือบริษัทไปบางทีเขาก็ offer ได้แต่ก็ไม่ใช่ว่าทุกบริษัทที่จะ offer ตรงนี้แต่ว่าก็เป็นสิ่งดีที่benefit ที่ทางนายจ้างสามารถที่จะเสนอให้เราได้แต่ว่าก็ไม่บังคับค่ะ I just tell in general that's not every company would offer this but if they offer you that means you might be a very a good employee and they want to retain you with company.
Yes. So some companies even have pet insurance. So if you have a dog, you might have health insurance for your dog.
Maybe I can ask for the CEO.
Yes.
From the owner, if they can offer me the pet insurance or something like that.
Yes.
Pet benefit. Bring pet to work.
Yes. Oh God.
Yes. That would be great, right?
Not in my house.
Okay, wow. The time, I feel like we just there's so many
Scratch the surface.
to learn
Yes.
from. We can talk all day long.
Yes.
About all the benefits. Yeah.
Yes.
And I just hope that maybe we can have you next time that we can go deep into the information about each of these benefits because I think it's very, very good information for everyone.
Right.
Mm-hmm. What do you think? Will you have some time to come back and talk more about all of this?
นิดหน่อย sure.
นิดหน่อย
I only knowนิดหน่อย spicy.
For today, I would like to thank so much Patrick Nevins for being here and share all the good information with all of us. And we hope that we will have you back with us and share more deeper details with us very soon. สำหรับวันนี้ for today we have to say goodbye and thanks again for Patrick for being here with us.
Happy Friday. I hope you all have a nice
Yes.
weekend wherever you are. And I would say Wadi Krap.
สวัสดีค่ะ Thank you so much.
Bye bye, Nina. Cheers.
Yes.